the Radio Forest podcast.
Forrest, hey.
Charlie, what's happening, man?
Not too much. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. New special, Neighborly. This is your second one. Now, for rock bands, the sophomore album is a huge deal, right? You have your whole life to write your first album, and then the second one is all this pressure. Is it the same in comedy with stand-up specials? Would you relate those together?
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's you spend a lot of time on your first hour because it's when you're starting comedy. It's you got stuff works, and then you get thrown into another tour, and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to do this again. And at the beginning of every tour, there's like can I do this? You know, am I done? Have I said everything I need to say? But eventually, you get over it, and you find it, and I'm really excited with how this special turned out.
This is filmed in Wisconsin. You're born in Wisconsin. I know your grandma's at the show. What was the idea to keep it local and keep it family-oriented?
Well, first one is actually in Milwaukee, which was fun. And then this one is in Appleton, smallest town anyone's ever shot a special in. It was very fun. I wanted to do that. You know, family is important to me, and I got such a crazy family. It's just fun to have them around. I mean, it's the way I wanted to do it, you know?
Yeah, you're from a family of 12 children. First of all, vehicle. How do you transport that many kids around? What did you guys do?
Presbyterian people mover, actually. One of those big white vans. You're like, is that for a church? No, that's for my family. We had a 15-seater van growing up. A lot of double buckling going on. So yeah, that was pretty much it. A big old van.
Now, what about Christmas and birthdays? Because you have 12 kids, money's got to be tight. I mean, it can't be, hey, whatever you want, it's on the house. Here's 30 different gifts.
Yeah, you know, I mean, especially early on in the childhood, I'm second oldest, so you know, money's a tight deal, you know, but that's good. That's good because you start working at a young age and you understand how to do a lot of jobs. And then you realize, like, if you get a chance to not do one of those jobs, you really take advantage of it. So it all worked out.
Random question. I'm hoping for the best here. Any chance you've ever fished with Henry Winkler?
Oh, my gosh. I wish. I met Henry Winkler at the Iola Car Show in Wisconsin, center of the state. And, man, he's such a kind guy. He's the nicest dude I think I've ever met in the industry. And maybe out there generally, but such a nice, gracious guy.
Yeah, he comes through here. He does a fly fishing trip in Idaho every year. And would you prefer fishing in a river or kind of more of a lake from a boat fisher?
Well, listen, I've done both, and I got into fly fishing recently. I grew up spin casting and, with my grandpa, but I just got into fly fishing not too long ago, and it's a little bit spendy, but you can find some poles at a good price, and a buddy of mine's big into it, so he got me some real good deals. I mean, I got a free Orvis rod, which is, it's incredible. So I love it. I love it because you can walk through the river, you can like pick up a rock and see what's going on, what grubs are on there. You look at what flies are on the top of the water. You match the hatch. You get a hike in and fishing. It's super fun. I love it.
But if you had a choice, let's say you're with Henry Winkler, would you rather go for muskie or trout? What would your pick be?
Trout. I mean, if he's a fly fisher, definitely trout. That's the nice thing about doing both is like whoever you're fishing with, whatever they prefer, you know, we can lean into that. And whatever kind of way you fish, I think you got to try it the other way because it's too much fun not to do it both ways. Why not? You know.
And actually, I spent a year up by Lake Superior, Ashland, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
You know what blew me away, and of course, everybody probably brings up the cold weather, but when I was there, it got so cold, people between like Duluth and Ashland, their car would break down. They would die.
Yeah, that's something you got to be cautious about in the winter, especially up there with those winds whipping off Lake Superior. I mean, that wind chill gets you. And, so, yeah, you always want to have a couple blankets in the car.
Yeah, it was something I wasn't prepared for. And people also have like extension cords coming out of the front of the truck. I'm like, what's that? Like, oh, we plug our car in at night. So it basically doesn't like freeze over.
Yeah, that's usually a diesel vehicle, because they keep that engine block warm. I had one of those. I had a Volkswagen Rabbit, 1981, 5-speed, 45 miles to the gallon though. So nice ride.
I had like the exact same car, Volkswagen. I think it was a 2-door diesel. That was like my favorite vehicle ever. Gas mileage was great, surprisingly fast. Dude, I loved that car.
Yeah, super dangerous. I later read they had the gas tank like right under
It could explode.
You hit the wrong bump, you might be going flying. But fun cars indeed, man.
Now, I know you've got some different skits and stuff on skiing. Are you a serious skier, or just kind of being from the area and being around cold weather is just something everybody eventually does at some point? Or are you more like into the sport?
Oh, no, I never skied till I was 18 years old. Snow skiing anyway. I water skied a few, growing up, my uncles would rent a boat and they would take us out water skiing. I started snow skiing a little bit. That was a fun time. I'll tell you that much. My buddy Dude Dad out there in Colorado went with him, and that was kind of a wild ride too, because you go down some scoochers, which is where it's a black diamond, and you're not prepared for that. So you got to kind of go slow, and if it gets too steep, you just kind of sit and you scooch it. That's what I learned.
You've got your own alcohol out now. Tell me about this old-fashioned brandy you have, and how long have you had this?
I have had it for a while, and it's about a year, and it's great. It's 90 proof, so it'll light you up like a Polish church, so be careful with it. But it's really good for, it's really good for old fashions. I'll say that much.
Yeah, it's Berens Old Fashioned Brandy. So how did you decide to get into that business? Did you have somebody that you're like, oh, this would be pretty easy to make one? Or you kind of were like, I've always loved brandy and I want my own?
Yeah, I always wanted to do it because the old-fashioned Wisconsin drinks more brandy than anywhere else. But, we're not drinking Wisconsin-based brandy. So I just always wanted to have one, and it's been super fun. And I didn't name it after myself. That'd be egotistical. I named it after my grandpa Bob, so that's why it's called Berens Old Fashioned Brandy. And I just can't help it. We got the same last name, but it is a fun little thing to do.
Did he enjoy old fashions? What kind of drinker was he?
Yeah, he did old fashions. He did Bloody Marys. He did beer. He was an equal opportunity kind of guy, but he's the most Wisconsin guy I ever met. And so I wanted to kind of name the most Wisconsin drink sort of after him.
Oh, yeah, I saw you doing some tutorials on making Bloody Marys. For you, what's the key? Because these things can get into the weeds right away. I mean, you can add all kinds of stuff, but what's your go-to Bloody Mary?
Oh, God. I think I said it in that video, but a Bloody Mary is like a fingerprint. Each one is unique in its own way, and you don't want to leave one at a crime scene. But the thing with a Bloody Mary is the world is your oyster, An old-fashioned, you want to be a little bit more dialed in, but a Bloody Mary, I actually have done the Brandy Mary, by the way, and that's basically Bloody Mary, but you use brandy, and that's got a nice bite to it because the way the tomato juice kind of mixes with the brandy's grape-based, and tomato juice is tomato-based, and those are both fruits. So it's basically a fruit smoothie.
Technically, this is a fruit smoothie, officer. I'm fine to drive with this. We're talking to Charlie Berens. Now, you've had the Cripes Cast podcast, Craig T. Nelson, Kevin Pollak, Mark Farner from Grand Funk Railroad, Mark Norman, Jeff Foxworthy. And now you've got the Bellied Up podcast, kind of a different spin. You guys do callers and live episodes. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's great because we don't have to prepare anything. We just ask the audience to do all the work for us while we sit in a bar and drink. It's the best podcast you can come up with. But, me and Miles, You Betcha Guy, we got a lot of fun with that. We just sit down and hang out, and the people spill their beans, which we always love.
What was your favorite interview from the Cripescast podcast? You guys had a ton of different guests on there.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. It must have been, there was a fella in South Dakota. He was driving home and he said, hang on, fellas, I see a ditch chicken. I got to go take care of this. You can hunt from the road, ditch chicken being pheasant. So we're like, are you kidding me right now? You're going to, and he's like, yeah, I'll call you back. I was like, don't call us back. Just
put it on speaker.
Speakerphone. So you hear him get out, car door shuts, hear silence, and pew. And he's like, I got him, fellas. It was just hilarious. So, nothing like being there for the hunting trip.
Since it's a Wisconsin special, you're a Wisconsin guy, your grandma's in the crowd, how many people there were like on the guest list? Like, were you able to sell tickets, or everybody was like, dude, I'm totally in. I got to be there?
Yeah. I mean, half the tickets I gave to my family, for God's sakes. When you got a big family, they always want to, you gotta hook them up. No, I'm teasing. There weren't that many. There was a good chunk though. I got a big family, but we got. I was just lucky to get so many family and friends there. I mean, it's such a special moment when you're filming your special like that, and not to say special, but it is special. And you want to have as much family around as you can.
And we carry the Bob and Tom show here at 96.9 The Eagle. So tell me about your parents and Bob and Tom. How'd that go?
Oh, Bob and Tom is great. Yeah, great chit-chatting with them. I mean, they're always really funny, and I never feel like I dial it up enough for them. But they're I always feel like that, like I gotta be funny for them, and I always feel like they're funnier than me. And I actually enjoy that because, those guys make me laugh. And I just like listening to them in general. I've been listening to them since I was a kid. And so it's just an honor to go on.
Well, Belly Up to the Bar is the Belly Up podcast. Also, the Berens Old Fashioned Brandy, Charlie Berens, new special, Neighborly. Hey, Charlie, great to talk to you today, man. Thanks for the call.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Forrest. Make sure you watch out for deer, all right?
I'm on it. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you soon. Thanks again.